Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Marvel Rivals Championship Season 1 game. We are in Europe again. We are on PC. And we have, on the left-hand side, a team which I don't think we've covered, but I think we came close to covering because they did quite well last season. It is Hate, or H8, _. And on the right of Symbiotic Surface, 0%, the team that came third in Season 0 and have been playing in the Europe, Middle East and Africa Invitational by Netties under the Fnatic banner. Now, I reached out and I messaged Line Pro directly and I asked them, hey, for Season 1, because your faction still shows a 0%, should I refer to y'all as Fnatic or should I refer to y'all as 0%? He said Fnatic is fine, but that was for a promo video, and they show here as 0%. So until their faction name changes, I will be referring to them as 0%. But, just so you know, they have said Fnatic, but it's going to get confusing if I start calling them a team name that isn't there. So I'm going to have to stick with what they're showing for now, and we'll adjust from there when they can adjust it themselves. So, Hate banning out Wolverine, 0%. Taking away Venom and the Star-Lord. Luna Snow will be the final ban by Hate here. Magneto and Groot will be the protected frontliners, the vanguards. Gonna be covered here. Hate protecting the Magneto, currently not hovering. Oh, they did hover it. Sorry, I saw two vanguards that I assumed. Are they triple vanguarding? I think they are, you know. Interesting. See if this works out against 0%, who are going with a standard 2-2-2 lineup. The Rocket is coming in. The amount of players who absolutely trash-talked this the Rocket Raccoon pre-Season 0 beginning, Season 1 beginning, sorry, and now Season 1 has come around, and Rocket, at least in the early stages, the open qualifiers, so again, it's a little more casual. The matches can be a little more one-sided than as we get later into the tournament. Rocket is being seen almost every game, is the point I'm trying to make. Let's introduce our players. On the left of Symbiotic Surface, on defense, it is Hate, with Haste playing Magneto. I'm on the wrong layer, there we go. Hatred will be playing the Loki. Comp 7C will be on the Thing. Veil Master is playing Groot. 511 gonna be on the Magic. And Johnny Jam will be playing the Invisible Woman. And on the right, in the red trunks on the attack, it is 0% / potentially Fnatic. We have Monk Muda playing the Hela. Melio will be on Psylocke. Networks will be bringing out the Doctor Strange. Sylvie on the Loki. Blacksu will be playing the Groot, and Line Pro is bringing out the Invisible Woman. Already a regeneration domain on the low ground as they portaled into the high ground, but were forced down low so they can try and step onto the point. Good healing as the Groot is taking a lot of damage. Now here's the question. Melio already swapping onto the Storm here because there's so much tankiness. Going to try and snipe some of those backlines. Already getting taken down though on the flank. Johnny Jam keeping the team up as sneaks on in. Up to the high ground. Trying to go for the flank, finds Loki. Clones coming out. Loki's able to escape. Here comes the straggling prison from Blacksu as they try to hold on through. Pushing in, Sylvie goes down. Monk Muda was able to pick up one, but Haste getting a counter here. And with only 55 HP, down they go with 0%, realizing they may have to reset here. And triple Vanguard working very well here. Hey, bringing it to bear against 0% here. I'm gonna confuse myself at this rate. So I just want to say Fnatic. For those who don't know, I used to cast games like StarCraft and Heroes of the Storm, and I had to cast Fnatic quite often, so it's just kind of falling into a habit for me here. Veilmaster pulled in, dropped low, shielded by Haste as they try to hold his straggling prison, but Regeneration Domain is shutting it down mostly. We're going to see Invisible Boundary set up by Johnny Jam. Meteor M comes in, takes out Sylvie, but Line Pro is still up. Counter barrier there for the extra healing so they can try and turn this round. Dropping low, but with Sylvie not available, how long can they keep this going? They utilize the clone for that extra sustain. Clobbering time, comes out, catches basically everyone. Melio's going to get an Omega Hurricane out of it. May get one, but no, it's going to be counted out. And Hate hold once again. They are shutting down 0%. Stepping disc to bounce onto the flank. See if anyone was sneaking through. The answer was no. Flaxow making their way in. They have the Strangling Prison. Currently only ultimate available for 0%. Darkchild and God of Mischief available for Hate. Making their way in. Pressure. Walls to try and zone it. Hate going in for an Invisible Woman clone so they can go for an Invisible Boundary if they need it. Darkchild coming in. Trying to get onto the backline, but 0% attacking through this time. Holding the line. There's that Invisible Boundary coming out from Hatred on the clone as picks up Melio. Diving through Regeneration Domain. Blacksaw brings out the Strangling Prison, but is there enough damage? No! The second Invisible Boundary comes out, and Veilmaster with their own Strangling Prison, and 0% are shut down again! And 0% are struggling in this open qualifier. Networks does have Portal. They use the Guardian Barrier from Invisible Woman. They may have baited them. You can see the immediate retreat. Everyone is running back because 0% have snuck past 1/3. Trying to hold it. Mokmuna takes to the sky. Was the bait enough? Regeneration Domain and the Meteor M to try and zone them out. Sending more in to try and wipe out the defenders. Gets onto Hatred. And Haste is taken out by Melio. And 0% with the bait back to their spawn. Portal utilized. They claim point number 1 in overtime. And 0% are back in it. Sylvie with the Invisible Boundary from the clone of Lime Pro pushes on in. Comp has a clobbering time at the ready. Networks, though, has Eye of Agamotto to potentially go for a counter here. Gonna wait for their team to push up here. You see the Force Vortex set up to try and zone them away. Networks sent across with the boost. In the meantime, Comp is deep in there, though, trying to force people to back out. Omega Hurricane gonna be coming in from Melio, but the tankiness of Hate is so high. Hate's dropped low, but will still hold. Networks pressuring up. Taken down, though. Clobbering time comes out. Regeneration Domain's going to keep him alive for at least the initial engage, but they're getting focused down, locked down. Strangling Prison comes in. And that's going to give them a chance for the turnaround. Blacks are already up to 11% of charge, but they're still forced back. Veilmaster still holding on to their Strangling Prison as they force back 0%, but finally they're going to start to get zoned out, nearly trapping their own Magneto there, but they're still able to back away, reset, wait for the team to rejoin as they push quite close. The 0% spawn. Mokmuna takes to the sky with the Goddess of Death. Invisible Boundary going to be dropped to try and zone that away. Able to spot the flank from the sneaky finds them as they teleport through, picks them up. Strangling Prison to shut them down once again. Eye of Agamotto came out. And Hatred go down, making it a 2 for 2. Sylvie got the clone, has the Invisible Boundary down to keep the team alive through the majority of that fight, as Hate will go down a little bit later, meaning 0% take more advantage of the timing and are able to push on through. Melio and Mokmuna on their way back from spawn. They did go down, but the rest of the team was able to sustain through without them. With Darkchild at the ready. Meteor M also up for haste. Darkchild coming in, already getting half health as they try to step onto the point, but the damage output is good. Regeneration shut that down completely. Lime Pro with the Invisible Boundary, completely turning off any ability for to do something here. Invisible Boundary coming down from Johnny Jam now as Comp sends out a clobbering time. They're trying to clean 0% off the board here, but the barriers, the shields are a bit too much. Here comes the Omega Hurricane. 0% are tanking through, and this time they wipe Hate off the board. Sylvie healing from Rage, keeping the team topped up as point number 2 is taken. 0%. It took them a bit to get going, but they now have full full momentum. This is the team we are used to. And Melio going for a hero change now. Going with Bucky. Going to try and shut down the flanking magic that way. Although it seems Monkamura may have it covered. Already finding elimination. Guardian Shield. Johnny Jam taking a couple hits. Networks. And blacks out. Doing a little bit of damage off to the side. Sylvie with the clones, unsurprisingly, onto the Invisible Woman. Yes of Null. Creeping forward bit by bit. Here's a counter clone coming out from Hatred. Also onto the Invisible Woman. First Invisible Boundary will be dropped by Sylvie. Countered by Hatred. As they go for the 1v1. Meteor M was used. Haste finds no one. Veilmaster. That is a great pull! Pushing in Regeneration Domain to try and shut it down, but Monkamura is in the air! And with the Goddess of Death, they clean out the majority of that, and sniping her off the point, and suddenly 0%, they weren't just surviving, they are thriving as they portal them into their base. Loki sneaks out. Ooh, clever! I love the reaction, but that's going to be a triple coming in from 0%. I love that idea, though. Quick swap to Bruce Banner so you can make it through the door, thanks to that smaller hitbox to then transform into Hulk to defend on the point. Clever idea. Really clever idea. They just didn't have the time. But God, that is some quick thinking. Hate going to make a fan out of me yet, but 0%, I'm already a fan. Getting top 3 in the first ever tournament will do that for you. Are we going to see any swap arounds, any mix-ups? The triple Vanguard, it did seem to work pretty well at that first point, but is that just for defense? Or is this just the meta that Hater found? Looks like it is their meta, as they're going to stick with it. Same composition. 0%. They're going to stick with Melio on the Winter Soldier here. Winter Soldier being picked up in the majority of games so far. Remember, we are in the open qualifiers. Top 500, 250, top several teams go through. So getting 10 out of 10 wins is insane here. So neither of these teams actually want to lose any of these matches, considering there are over like 2,000 teams in this. So getting 10 out of 10 is kind of an essential. There is the close qualifiers, so there are chances and other ways to do it, but they'd obviously prefer not to. Getting 10 out of 10 is the preference. Monkamura and Melio sieging away. Getting good damage. Haste already dropped low, but topped back up again. Comp 7C. Pressuring onto the point. Does have that team up. Going to be pressuring forward, taking quite a bit of damage. There's the Guardian Shield, so they can heal up, and they have the team up active, so they can get a little bit of extra regen. Pushing on to the point. Yazzie Street Charge is available, but they're holding onto it for the moment, just sticking with Stone Haymakers to maximize damage output and get those little 50 shields every single time as they push onto the point. But a lot of ultimate charges being gained here as they charge right into the backline. Regeneration Domain is dropped, but cleaning them up, actually. But now Comp C is dropped a little bit low. Here comes the Invisible Barrier to try and sustain this, as Sylvie will drop their own as well with the clone, while Lime Pro's ult builds. Hatred. Now with the clone, they were able to drop a second Invisible Barrier, which is allowing 0% to try and turn this round because they were able to sustain through. Went down. And even with the double Invisible Boundary, 0% used their own Invisible Boundary to shut down Hate. And that massive tankiness. Great Vortex there with the Force Pull, pulling them in and shutting them down. Takes out Veilmaster. And Hate, they're struggling to pick off the members of 0% because they're having to be the ones forced through a choke point. They are not able to control the battles as much as they were in round number 1 here. Live Pro keeping them healed up as the dive came in. Haste Meteor M Networks was unable to find much with that. Eye of Agamotto drops lowers into the sky. Muda drops back down, flies away, picked off though. Veilmaster has the straggling prison. If they want to, you can see quite a few built up members there using their wall to circumvent the initial choke point, isolating off Strange from the rest of their team. And here comes the Kraken Impact. Great invincible boundary to try and protect it, but the Kraken Impacts are coming in, pulling in Groot, separating them from the rest of the team, but they're not able to find the reset. Meaning Melio is down to normal, battling now. Great regeneration domain to try and take them down. Invincible boundary coming down from Sylvie for 0% so they can keep pushing in with this extra sustain. Bionic hook onto Magneto, who sustains through with the self-shield as Dark Child comes in from to take down Melio. And Hate are pushing through. They get point number 1 and keep diving even further, trying to get onto the backline, trying to get Blacksau with that magic to take him out and keep this push going. A massive stagger comes in, and Hate continue to push up. Networks respawning, holding onto their Eye of Agamotto at least for the moment. Good pressure coming in. Hate's keeping some really good pressure. The beefiness of this composition is allowing them opportunities to make plays where they otherwise might not be able to. Straggling Prison's at the ready, but waiting until the rest of the team's there. Wall to try and slow down the Groot here. There it is. Straggling Prison on the stairs, dropping them low, but they're tanking through beautifully. Invisible boundary to shut it down. But Johnny Jab, that ultimate will expire. What else do Hate have? They lost the majority of their sustain there as Melio is gonna come in with the Kraken Impact, taken out immediately. Eye of Agamotto finds only the thing, but they can't get up there. Too high up on the stairs. Drops low as in comes Clover in time! This is how we do it in Yancey Street as Comp takes one down. Here comes the copy from Sylvie to try and help them sustain, dropping the invisible boundary as 0% are trying to just sustain through and hold it even though they're down 2 members. They're just trying to push it through. Blacksau is on the way, but Veilmaster is trying to separate them, trying to hold the team back. Walls to trap them away, and even diving further as point 2 is hit for Hate. Are we heading to a tiebreaker? A little bit of a misplay there. Groot Wall accidentally blocking the ability from Johnny Jab with that Vortex. Guardian Shields coming out. Quick swap, Sylvie gonna bring out Rocket and Monk Muda saying goodbye to Hela. They've given up on Loki. Straggling Prison only really finds Veilmaster against the shield from Magneto as they try to turn this round in their favor. But 0% have gone all in on Soldiers. They've brought out the Punisher and they're trying to melt through with their invisible boundary coming in with a Dark Child going to be pushing into the backline. Do they have the damage to deal with this? Yes, they do, with a Straggling Prison to set it up. And Hate are cruising through this right now. Take out Blacksau. Networks goes down. Melio falls. And Sylvie is absolutely out of there. No way, Jose will back away. Waiting for the team to spawn. Cart's on the way. Full speed. Trying to wall them in with the Groot. Clear out the walls. The cart is almost there as Sylvie tries to sustain him. Tries to heal up. Melio does have Kraken Impact and it may have to be used here. Brings in a clone. Oh, he misses it, but they still get the final judgment. Trying to pop the Meteor M, and they do tank through it with the extra sustain. They're trying to push on to the point. They've got the Seer for the extra damage. They're melting them down, but the tankiness is just too much. Hate are holding. Wall comes out. Eye of Agamotto with the knockback, but they still find the backline, and 0% clean up. They finally find the opening and get the hold, thanks to an incredible Eye of Agamotto from Networks. 1 minute and 31 seconds left. No ultimates yet, but Hate will be building them up quite quickly. Blacksau having that straggling prison, that is all 0% have. Sending in a lot of the harassment. trying to pull in the Loki clone. Melio set themselves up to use that as the initial reset to begin the push. Straggling Prison, pushing in Guardian Barrier, but the group walls for the damage output. And 0% grab the momentum and keep it going with another absolutely devastating team fight. But they did use Straggling Prison. They now have Visible Boundary at the ready, and they almost are back with both Kraken Impact and Final Judgment. Hatred going with the clone. What's the plan here? I'm curious as to the plan. Oh, did they also lose their portal? I saw that bug a little bit earlier. There's a thing in that room where sometimes your portal disappears. Veilmaster on the flank. They decide to go. They go in on foot either way. Straggling Prison on the backline. Melio pulled in with the Bionic Fist, able to get back into their team as here comes the Invisible Boundary. Look at this. Melio and Monkmuda are holding on, delaying their ultimates until that Invisible Boundary goes down so they can re-enter. Kraken Impact and Final Judgment dropped. And that is going to be Melio with reason number 1. Redemption for Melio, who cleans out Hate and 0% hold, taking the game and the series in a 3-2. What an incredible performance. That was massive. Incredible final engage. Melio popping off, timing it with the end of the ult. Monkmuda already raining in the pain, dropping the damage output. There was just nothing that they could do. The tankiness was good, but there was just too much there. Trying to use the double invisible boundaries, not enough in this case. That is going to be 0% / Fnatic taking the round, and they will get that point towards moving on in this series, to moving on through the open qualifiers into the actual double elimination stage. We'll keep an eye on them, see if they can continue this, but obviously they got 3rd in Season 0. I would expect them to do quite well. Hate, though, amazing performance. We're definitely keeping an eye on them. Creative composition. One of the first triple Vanguard compositions we've seen, and it did very well. Statistics-wise, MVP going over to Line Pro. Getting taken out 6 times, 2nd lowest in the game, just behind Sylvie. Got 4 final hits, 19 eliminations, 35k healing, just a little bit more than Sylvie. Doing huge work for their team there. Keeping them up. 17k damage blocked as well, making use of that Guardian Shield. Having a look at some of the other statistics. Most eliminations, 35 for Monkmuda, which turned into 17 of those being final hits. They also maximized the damage output here with 34k, 1k more than Blacksow. And, 3k more than Blacksow. And a solid 6k more than Melio. But Melio also joining in. 14 final hits, 30 eliminations. Both of them carried their weight. Both of them set that up very nicely. Top damage blocked. Well, you got 3 Vanguards. You think it would be spread out, but no. Each one of them able to keep up with networks. And Veilmaster only getting taken down 1 more time than like Blacksuit and 2 more times than networks. Got 60k damage blocked. A little bit more than Blacksow, who is the 6th highest, getting up to 58k. Everyone else, 40s, 42, 43k. And top healing. Despite Light Pro putting on quite the show, Johnny Jam takes home that crown with 53k. Hatred also beating out Sylvie and Light Pro, but when you have 3 Vanguards and a melee damage dealer, your healing output is going to be mental. That's just how it's going to be. They keep you safe. If literally everyone is in front of you all the time, you're going to be healing. A very well-played game. Going to keep an eye on both these teams, and I hope to keep an eye on your team. If you're playing in Season 1 and would like your game cast, then please leave a comment saying your team name, your region, and what system you're on, console or PC. Also, if you want to request a team, even if it's not yours, if you have a friend who's playing, then be sure to leave that instead. Also, leave a comment just saying what you thought of the triple Vanguard composition. It's one of our first times seeing it. What are your thoughts? Give me your opinions, please. I would love to hear them. And of course, subscribe. We're almost at 5k subscribers at the time of me filming this. When I do that, I'm going to try and set up a live stream where I cast a load of bronze replays if I can find them. That's the plan. I just need to, get them. Which I'm pretty sure you can do. I'll work it out. If not, send them in. Leave some replay IDs. If you're a bronze player, leave me some replay IDs in the comments. I'll add them to the list and I'll commentate those for the 5,000 sub special. Make sure you ring that bell so you can see when these casts go live. You can become a member to get them early. And if you don't want to spend money monthly, if you want to support me, turn off your ad block or hit that thanks button to give a little bit of support, as I do not have sponsors. I just make Marvel Rivals content because I like it. For now, though, that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. I have been Tetcher, your caster for today, and I will see you tomorrow.